How y'all doing? Man, it is sad in these streets. I can't believe what I read. I came across this article and I said, my goodness, I know you lying. I know you gotta be lying. And I want to dive into this. I want to find out what's going on with this 17-year-old. She was taken out too soon by her 32-year-old boyfriend. That don't even make sense, right? 17, 32-year-old boyfriend taken out, and he had 6 kids. Now I can sit up here and I can be a hypocrite, okay? Knowing darn well when I was her age, I didn't go that old, you know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that later. But man, it's just horrible for a 32-year-old to get with a 17-year-old. That's just wild in itself. And for you to take her out of here, she haven't even started adulthood. For you to take her out of here, what type of monsters is in these communities, man? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not watched this video yet because I wanted to watch it with you guys so I can stop and respond and just be more honest and transparent about it. I was kind of late coming up here, y'all. Hey, Random. Hey, Kavan girl. I don't like the wig I got on. Look. Have you ever bought something and you regret, you got buyer's remorse, okay? And you trying to get some justice out of it anyway? Man, I was struggling with this wig. When I thought I liked it, I looked in the mirror again. I found something else wrong with it. Then I found something else wrong with it. Then I don't like the hairline. It's just so much I don't like, okay? But I'm trying to make it work. I know I look I don't like it. It's supposed to be the wand curl. When I tell you this thing looks so dry, I didn't put some sheen in here. I didn't put a whole bunch of shit up in here, and it's still not doing what I needed to do. The flyaways is horrible. Man, oh man. But we are here now. Thank you. They said I look great. Hey, thank y'all. And if you lying to me, I appreciate it. Sometimes we need to be lied to sometimes. But getting to this, when I just look at the title, my heart dropped. I just was annoyed. I was like, man, for that 17-year-old, why did you have to be with a guy that got all these kids? All these kids, and you got to take care of these kids. Whoa, it just, we need to have more conversations to these young girls when they're 12, 13, 14 about dating. And I know some of you all don't want to have those conversations because you guys know I grew up very religious. So my parents failed to have those serious conversations with me at an early age. So I had to go in the streets by myself. But my parents didn't know I was in the streets. I was sneaking in the streets. Okay. So I think her boyfriend, I don't know if if it was a secret boyfriend or they were out and proud about that. Mine was on a discreet, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody knew I had a boyfriend, except for me. And that's dangerous in itself because if anything would happen to me, which it could have, okay, nobody would have known because they had the idea that I was just sitting at home being a good Christian, right? That was far from the truth, huh? Talk about discernment. They didn't have good discernment, huh? No, they did not. Okay. So what else I have to say before I play this video? A 32-year-old boyfriend. Why do a 32-year-old man want to be with a 17-year-old? I question that when I was with older guys, why you want me? I don't got nothing to offer to you. I guess because of the innocence. I guess because they look at you as somebody they can mold. They look at you, I guess, as, ain't nobody else had you and they want to control you. They see you as their property. And especially, I remember when I was young, I did some horrible stuff. I played into being a victim. I came across an older guy and I was telling him that I was homeless and nobody loved me, so he can feel pity on me, right? And that was a dangerous game to play, even though that was not the case, but I wanted him to take care of me. So I was playing like I was, like nobody cared about me. So, I ain't gonna go into that situation, but I'm saying, sometimes I think older guys, if they look at a young person and they feel like they are alone and nobody cares about them, it's easier for them to do damage to them because it's like nobody care about you. Ain't nobody coming for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes these older guys get with the young girls and they be beating on them and stuff like that because they know nobody really cares, you know? So are you guys ready to dive into it? I'm looking in the comment section. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right today? Y'all doing all right today? They said, where were the parents? I don't know where were the parents. We got to look into it. But I do have to say about this, and I'm going to put myself, I guess, more in these situations. Where was my parents when I was out here with these older men? They were in church. My parents were in church. They was praying for me. My parents didn't. Okay, so how can I put it? My parents were strict, but I have a biological father. I will tell my parents that I'm going to be spending time with my biological father. And when I'm under his supervision, that's when I would do like all the stuff I should not be doing under his supervision. And where was he? Nowhere to be found, out with these whores. Okay. Okay, yes. So my biological father, he didn't have strict on site on me. He saw it as, he was giving me a life bridge support because he knew my parents were very strict. My stepfather, my mom was extremely strict on me. I had curfew, but 9, 10 o'clock, I couldn't go out. My parents knew who called my house, who couldn't call my house. I was in a gated community. I could not have people over unless they confess that they believe in Jesus Christ. Every friend I ever had, my stepfather will have Jesus talks with them. It was so embarrassing to have a father be like, have you accepted Jesus in your life? You can't be associated or friends with my child if you're not, I'm like, damn, okay. That's why they don't bring people around. You can't. But a lot of my friends, they appreciate it. It was like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't care about all that. You know what I mean? I'm most of the time. But I would say that to say you just don't know, depending on who was the supervisor. With my father, he was out here doing what he wanted to do with these ladies, and he was just giving me freedom, trusting me. And man, oh man. Man, but I appreciate that though. But let's get back on here. Rest in peace to the lady. I like they're marking their territory. Oh, okay, that's what they're doing. That's a boy, not a man, trying to mold a child. That's a boy, not a man, trying to mold a child. How will a 17-year-old find time to be nurturing? Well, I don't know, because I've never gotten that place to nurture somebody. But let's play here. I got the video here. Give me a chance. All right, so you guys ready? Let's get these likes up. So that's her funeral. That's the funeral of the 17-year-old girl. And that's her. You see her? All right, hot mama. Okay.
This is the sad story of Tatorsha Williams, aged 27, a woman who abandoned her life and college aspirations to be with a felon who ended up killing her in cold blood without having to think about it twice.
All right, so I got this music is not music, and you guys know I can't be playing this music.
From school, started working at the tender age of 17 to feed her 32-year-old boyfriend just to please him, but unfortunately he killed her when she...
What? Okay, so she was a provider? My goodness, and she was gorgeous too, girl, wasn't she? Honey, she had body, she's gorgeous and everything. She just didn't know she can get so many men that would take care of her. Now, when I was doing my thing when I was a teen, I was getting men that was taking care of me, that was providing for me, giving me money. I was not giving out nobody money because I didn't have nothing to give, but I didn't have that mindset anyway to take care of no grown ass man with 6 kids. So, I guess she just always wanted to be a nurturer or taking care of a man. I don't know if she was obsessed with this man. I don't know what that is for a young girl to want to take care of a man, to work and to spend her art money on a man. This is a special case. I don't know too many girls like this, but comment. I want to know your thoughts. Have you guys, can you relate to her story? Being young girl and wanting to take your hard on earnings and spending it on a man and taking care of a man. Press 1 if that was you. You could relate to that part. Press 5 if that was not you. You can't relate. I can't relate to doing anything for a man, to be honest with you. But let's go.
Finally came to her senses 10 years later. Family members warned her about what she was getting herself into, dating a man with 6 kids from 6 different women, but she did not listen to them, and it will eventually lead to her death. Why would a young lady see all this red flag and still dive headfirst into this type of relationship? Well, let's find out. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes.
And he don't even look all that. I mean, have you seen his look? He don't even look all that. And then he coming from jail. You know, I'm going to be thinking he probably been with another man, honey. But let's go.
Story takes us to Chicago, Illinois. In the heart of the Midwest, Chicago boasts soaring skyscrapers, 77 colorful neighborhoods, 42 kilometers of lakefront with 26 beaches and 580 parks and green spaces. Chicago has a high crime rate, particularly for violent crimes, and is often ranked among the cities with the highest crime rates in the United States. Titorsha Tierra Williams was born on June 28, 1996, in the Kingdom of Chicago, Illinois.
She knows she look good. She knows she look good. Can we talk about the confidence? You know you look good when you taking selfies and you got the body shot and you rubbing on your stomach. You know your body T. You know the face is T. That's got to be confidence. Hell, sometimes I'll be so discouraged. I'll be like, hell no, look at that angle. I can't do it. I can't do it. You got to have real confidence to show off your face and your body like she's doing it. Go ahead, girl. I mean, her attitude, I know she's 17, but it's giving grown woman. Okay, her but go ahead, girl. Let's continue to play.
Born to Trinetta McClure and Terrell Williams, she worshipped at St. Malachy Church in Chicago, Illinois, dedicating her life to Christ in her youth. Titorsha attended the halls of St. Malachy Catholic Elementary School, adorned with 8 years of remarkable achievements.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? She went to a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic school. Is there something about these religious schools? Is there something about these religious schools? They said you went to a Catholic school. And I hear some of y'all was saying, oh my God, about the family, the moral and the values. She went to a Catholic school. So what? I don't think that her family or her parents, I don't know, but just I wouldn't assume that her family have failed her, you know, because they put her in a Catholic school. You have to have some type of care to put your kids in a private Catholic school. You got to pay money for them Catholic schools. Okay. But let's continue to play.
She carried her radiance to Our Lady of Tepeyac High School, earning 4 more distinctions. At Tepeyac, she captivated all with her charm and brilliant smile, shining brighter than her companions. Upon graduation, she embarked on a path to Malcolm X College, where she dedicated a year to her studies. Yes, she...
Let me clear my throat. Honey, she's smart, so her parents did not fail her. I don't care what y'all said. She's smart. Her parents did not fail her. She was a smart girl. She had rides to college. She was a working girl. She had morals to work. She wasn't out here being a gold digger like I was. Okay. She didn't want handouts. So it's unfortunate that she got hooked up with this dude, and this was, this is what she wanted to do. But I cannot agree with some of you all out here saying her family has failed her. I have to see the family position. But so far, what I know about the family, they sent her to a private Catholic school. She had great grades. She was a hard worker. She didn't depend on anybody. She was not out here prostituting herself. So she carried herself well. She looked like she cleaned. She took showers and baths. She cared about how she looked. She wasn't over obese or nothing like that. So she looked very healthy and taken care of. So let's continue on. Somebody says she was 17 a minor. Yeah, we know she was 17 a minor. Shit. A lot of y'all was 16, 17-year olds that had boyfriends that was older. Okay. So let's just keep it real and let's stop all that. Well, do what you want to do, but let's continue on.
Dedicated just a year to her studies before she met someone who would change her life forever. Unfortunately, this person she met would not change her life for good, like other men do when they find love. He destroyed her life. Titorsha had everything going well for her. She was 17 at this time and was hoping to be something very great.
And you know what? She was so grown. Mentally, I say that. The reason why I say she was so grown mindset, because she wanted a serious relationship. Hell, when I was 17, I wanted to have a fun relationship, but I didn't want to be stuck with no man forever and ever. It seems like she wanted to have everything. She wanted to have the job. She wanted to have the family, she wanted to have the husband. And I think that she got with this man thinking that this is going to be her husband, and I think she had the idea that older men are more mature. So an older man, you can take older men seriously, because that is a lot of things. Like younger guys, they be so immature, they be on some bullshit. They're not serious about life. They're not serious about commitment or relationship. And sometimes when you're a young girl, you look at these older men like, they're very serious. However, for me, the fact that he was not a provider, he didn't have his own home, was a red flag for me, but she's different. But let's continue to go.
In life after college. She wanted to become a dentist according to her friends. Unfortunately, at 17 years old, she met a man named Kevin Scott. Kevin was 30 years old at this time. He was 13 years older than Titorsha. To start with, no man in his right senses should be talking to a 17-year-old girl. As at the time, Kevin had 6 kids and 6 baby mothers. He had no stable job, no place to live, and nothing to show for his existence except for his 6 kids. One thing Kevin was good at is manipulating and convincing ladies. He was able to convince Titorsha that he would be a good man to her. He convinced her to drop out of college so she could work and take care of him and his 6 kids, which she surprisingly did. She dropped out of college and started a job which—
Whoa, she dropped out of college. She was in love, girl. And I hear people talking about, she thought she was grown at 17. Possibly, but what is grown? To you all, grown is nothing but a number. To some people, grown is based on a mindset. If she, in her mind, is mature, she's working, she's providing for herself, and she's providing for another man and all that, it sounds like she wanted to be in love. Sounds like she wanted marriage. And a lot of girls, and you guys even push this on girls when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, with the cartoons of the princess getting married to the prince, all this, wait until you're married. When you get married with kids, you're going to have so much. It's a lot of women and a lot of teens that are teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancy has always been a thing. You have young girls that dream to be a mother one day. You have a lot of girls, their only validation is to find a man and to be a wife. I mean, but this is what you guys put into them at a young age. So to be spazzed out that these 16-year-olds, they want relationships, they want serious relationships, they want to be mothers. It's like, which one do y'all want? Okay, hell. Okay. But let's continue to play. Yeah, Kavana, I believe, but 6 kids is a bit much at 17. I agree with that. But to me, it seemed like her mindset, she loves hard. It seemed like she's very passionate. And if she loves you, it don't matter if he had 50 kids. She was going to be down for that man. And a lot of times, women or people feel like the more I sacrifice for you, the more you're going to love me. So if I put up with a lot of your bull crap, and I allow you to do X, Y, and Z, and you see, I still give you grace and I still give you love. Some people feel like in return, you're going to love them even more. Okay. But a lot of time that's not the case. The more you give to someone, the more you sacrifice to someone, you're not going to get that in return often. And that comes with any relationship, whether a relationship with your child, whether a relationship with your husband or your wife. The more you sacrifice and give up for them and do for them, a lot of you are expecting that return. You want them to love you the same way. And that's not the truth. Okay. But let's continue on.
Gave her some money to pay house rent and other bills for Kevin and also support his 6 kids. He felt convinced that she had been successfully manipulated, so he eventually married her at 19. Even though her family members warned her against it, citing several.
Hold on. Married her at 19. Married her at 19. So this means that she, child, look, see the titles? You see these titles? So they met when she was 17, but they got married at 19. Okay, see, it changed. See, that's why I gotta read the story, because I was just going based off the title. So did you guys catch that? That they met at 17, okay, and they got married at 19. You know, and how do you guys feel about 19-year-old getting married? I think it's really based on your beliefs. I have religious people in my family. So a lot of religious people, not all, like I have some Jehovah Witness, and they believe to push marriage early. Like 19, 18 is when some of my cousins in Jehovah Witness side, they got married at 18 and 19 because they are against fornication. They felt like fornication is sinful and it goes against God's will. So, they marry. And a lot of them, they were having boyfriend and girlfriends when they were 16, 17. And they marry at 18, 19. And a lot of religious practices have been that way traditionally as well. And I know everybody is not with that, but I think it depends on your beliefs, but let's continue on.
Red flags, including previous domestic-related issues he had with multiple women. Tatorsha did not listen to them. Tatorsha was naive at this age, so she believed everything she was told by Kevin. They started a family and she eventually gave birth to Christian. She loved him so much, she posted him a lot on her social media account.
Oh, she have a baby. She got a baby her own. So they're saying that when she got married at 19 with this guy, that he was manipulating her, he was cheating on her. And I think sometimes when you get married young and you're into like the religion, remember she grew up Catholic. She went to a Catholic school. It is always taught that submit to your man. I've always been taught submit to your man. Your man is authority. It's God, your husband, then your kids, and if your man is out here doing sinful things, you just have to pray for him, but you have to stay a woman of God, and you have to stay, doing God's will, and just pray for your husband that one day he will come around, but you don't become your husband's enemy. That's the mindset I've been taught in religious form. So I don't know if she was dealing with that same thing. Oftentimes a lot of people do. And a lot of guys, they take advantage of the power and the situation they have because they know they are authority figures, and they know because of religion and these women beliefs that a lot of women won't, leave them. Now, this new day and age, women are deciding to leave. They decided, listen, you're not becoming a man of God. So, I'm going to follow a man of God and you're not becoming him. So, everybody got their beliefs. Like I said, it's how you see it. Everybody's not going to see it the same. But let's go. Hey, Pauton.
Win it alone. And for superstar players like Westbrook, individual greatness isn't enough. It's about.
All right, this music. Hold on. Okay, this music. I can't play this music, but you see the
Seventh
baby.
child by the seventh lady. He also posted himself and his seventh child on his social media.
All right, so this is 7 child by his 7 lady, so he's a player. He got a lot of kids.
Say like, what you doing? Hey, what you doing, cuz? I always go to the playground. I miss you, cuz. I always go to the playground. You wanna go to the playground? Yeah. You go to the playground, me. And you, Dada. And you.
Tatorsha loved him as much as she could. She posted videos of them on several occasions with sweet captions.
All right, so somebody says, yes, the rest of the Bible said, her, love her, cherish her, adultery is a sin. Yes, adultery is a sin. But I think you have to realize if he was not raised religiously and she was raised religiously, that's going to be her faith, may not be his faith. You know, but you would think a woman of faith will just get with a man of God, you know, but oftentimes a lot of women of faith do not get with the man that have just as strong beliefs as she does when it comes to religion. Oftentimes you will find that people, when they get together, it's a lot of times based on emotions, but it's not based on, do we share the same politics? Do we share the same beliefs about private schools, public schools? How do you feel about X, Y, and Z? We are finding that a lot of you all are not having the real conversations before you guys start hooking up and mating. You know, so get to know a person, have the tough conversations, understand the person's mindset and their true beliefs to their core, and see if it's yoked with yours. And we have to give room for change, because oftentimes we grow up, people change, people are influenced by this or that. So it's a lot of things you got to take in mind when you are getting with someone and planning to share your whole life with a person forever.
It's cool. I'm coming out anyways. This one in front of you. You ain't got to talk to me.
But as the year passes, she realized a leopard never changes its spots. Kevin was still the old person who was cheating around town, kept manipulating her, needing more and more money from her. She tried to stay in the relationship for her son, but 10 years later, a more matured Tatorsha knew she had been played, so she called.
Wow, it took her 10 years. It took her 10 years, so 27. So she passed away at 27. This is what I'm assuming, but she met him at 17. It took her 10 years to realize, you know what, this man don't love me. He's been playing me this whole time. And she's just been in la la land with this man. You know, she's bent over backwards with this man. And this man don't even realize he really had a gem. You know, it's so many men out here in these communities that talk about women like this. They want a woman to go 50-50. She would have went 50-50 with any man. She would have paid for the whole bill. But the guys that get these girls, they don't do them right. They don't appreciate them. And I believe, I cannot prove it, but for him to have this beautiful girl, okay, and then to be with all these other women and having all these kids, you already know what I'm thinking about. Okay, he on a down low, girl. Okay. We see it all the time. Dwight Howard. Okay. I mean, it's so many. Stevie J, he got all them kids, but you already know what's going on. They really want a man. But, you know, I cannot say that because I have no proof. But you have a woman here. She's beautiful, but he don't want to honor her. He don't want to love her. He don't want to respect her. Sounds like he don't want no woman. Okay. He just likes to use and abuse people that are women. Okay. But let's continue on and hear
him to the room on May 9th, 2024 to tell him she was done and wanted to move on. Kevin went into panic mode upon hearing the breakup news. He wondered how he would live if his source of income leaves, meaning he would be back to the street and have nowhere to live and no more free money. Kevin decided to take her life, so he got his gun and shot her dead in the kitchen where he left her lifeless.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. I got to hear that again. I wasn't ready for that. How did it speed up to him taking his life? Now, people are saying, you know, he groomed her. Okay. It depends on the situation. Okay. I feel like when I was 16, 17, and I was out here in these streets with older men, ain't nobody groomed me. Hell, It was a choice. I made a conscious decision. This is what I wanted to go for, you know? And some shit happened. Um, is everything my fault? No, but I do have to take accountability. I knew right from wrong, and I decided to do what I wanted to do. But I understand here in 2025, you know, people have a different belief system. And it's like, well, if you're 17, you're so innocent. You don't know what you were doing, and you was just so ignorant to everything. No, I was not ignorant to everything. Okay. I, I was raised to know right from wrong at a very early age. I put my hand in the fire. I did get burned a few times. Okay. So, but it's all how you see it. It's really all your beliefs. Okay. So, let's continue to play. And I'm with this. What she about to say right now? What she about to say right now? Man, oh man, you wanted to be grown. I wanted to be grown. I don't know. Okay. I didn't want to pay no bills. I wanted a man to take care of me. Hell. So what is grown? To me, grown is being independent. You know, I didn't want to be independent. I just wanted to live off of a man and have him take care of me and do what I want to do, you know? And I got tired of being under my religious family's prison. You know, I wanted to escape. And the only way I can see I can escape the religious prison is to finding a man that saw some type of value in me, that he would want to take me under his ring and treating me the queen I deserve to be treated, honey. Okay. So I don't know if I could say I wanted to be grown. I didn't want to work. I just wanted what I wanted. So I don't know about all that. Did I want to be grown? Hell. Was I doing grown up shit? Did I want to have did I want to fornicate? You damn right. I believe in fornication. Yes, I believed in fornication. My family did not believe in fornication. So I mean, we got some issues, okay? I believe in nature, okay? Okay, I wanted to live my life, okay? So okay, what are y'all saying? I watched too many Wonder Woman videos as a kid. Fuck that. Yeah, no, society needs to change these younger generations of young girls. You will never find love on the streets, ever. There will hope and faith, your future. You will never find love on the streets. I don't know about that, because I found some love on the streets. Okay. It might not have been the love that I wanted, but I did find some benefits. Like I said, you know, it's pros and cons to everything. I'm thankful, the grace of God, and I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's move on. Thank you, Stevie.
So she called him to the room on May 9th, 2024 to tell him she was done and wanted to move on. Kevin went into panic mode upon hearing the breakup news. He wondered how he would live if his source of income leaves, meaning he would be back to the street and have nowhere to live and no more free money. Kevin.
Wow. So he was living off of her this whole time. Now tell me this. Did Kevin want to be grown? Did Kevin want to be grown? I don't think Kevin wanted to be grown. Kevin wanted to be a little boy. Kevin wanted to be a little boy that constantly just F around. He just seemed like he likes getting people pregnant. He was not using protection, and he just wanted to be an F boy, and he wanted to be dependent on a grown woman, because at this time she's a grown woman. You know, so like I said, what is to be grown? Do you think age is a dictator based on grown up, or what is it to you? I think grown is different to everybody. When you look at time periods, back in 1970, grown was, the age was even different than it is for America in 2025. And we have noticed that throughout different times, what society deems as grown as far as age, it always changes depending on where you are in the country. This country is going to dictate at this age, this is when you're grown, and the next is going to be that. So it forever changes. Will let you know it's really based on society and people beliefs, you know? So that's just what it is. So let's continue to play. But it sounds like he wanted to take her out because she wanted to leave him. She got tired of the treatment. But he felt that he's not ready to work. Who's going to take care of him and the kids? He probably felt like, in my mind, these guys be like, "Oh, you think you're going to leave me now? All this shit that we have built together, now you just going to up and leave? So you think you better than me? So you don't care about me, right? It's just F me, right? It's F me. You don't give a F about me, then I don't get an F about you. And I'm going to take it out on you. How you just going to leave me? You know I don't got shit. You know that. You can't just leave me. And people get emotional and people get dependent on your stuff. When you keep on providing for someone, people get dependent. I see the situation works out all the time. It can be a roommate. If I have somebody to live in here with me for some years and I decide to kick them out, then they might be ready to take my head off, you know? So people get attached to things and they become entitled on things. And when things about to leave out, they feel like you're saying F them, you don't care about them, and they ready to take you out of here. And I think that's what happened with this situation.
Decided to take her life, so he got his gun and shot her dead
Oh
in the
my
kitchen, where he
goodness.
left her lifeless body
Oh
for her
my
4 years
goodness.
old to discover.
Wow. So he took her out, and he left, and her 4-year-old discovered the body. That's horrible. That child would be ever traumatized. But I already knew he didn't care about them kids. I mean, how could you really care about them kids when you having so many kids in so many broken homes? And a lot of men, they do have fantasies about having a lot of kids. I don't know what it is. I was just talking to this man the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I want to have 10 kids." I said, "Well, you plan on making a whole bunch of money." And mind you, before he told me he wanted 10 kids, he was talking about he's not into materialistic. He's not into, all this money shit, right? But I'm like, 10 kids? I said, "What, you going to have 10 bedroom? You going to get a 10-bedroom house? Where you going to get that?" He was like, "Well, I want to build my house." I'm like, "Well, shit, that's a lot of more money, nigga. What you going to do for it?" You know what I'm saying? He didn't think shit through. All they know is they want a whole bunch of kids, okay? But how are you going to provide for those kids? They don't care about that. They're not thinking about that. They just want what they want. And oftentimes they just want a whole bunch of kids. And I don't think he cares about them kids. Clearly, he can care about them kids to take a mama out like that. Clearly, he can't care about them kids with having so many kids raised in broken homes. I mean, he got 6 kids, 6 broken homes. That's not going to have him fully in the household as a father figure. And what type of father figure that is not providing for their kids? He's not working, he's just probably easing off these women that I don't know what's up with these women. They're different 6 women. I can't relate to these women because I've never been on the side to ever want to give money to any man. Okay. So that part, I cannot talk from that point of view because I can't relate to that, but he gonna find them, and I guess if I just have to take a stab at it, they just feel like if I give to him, he's gonna love me in return. And it makes them different because most of these girls want money from these men, but these girls, they don't want money from these men. They just want that man around. I ain't never want that man around that much. Well, I just want you to be there. I'm not, no, I've never been that way. But looking in the comment section, she was supporting all the kids. Well, according to that's what they're saying. But in this news clip, I have yet to hear that she actually came out the money for all the kids. They have not said that all the kids live under them. It's just reported he has 6 kids. And I think he had these 6 kids on her during the whole 10-year relationship. I'm assuming he was cheating on her and having these different kids, so throughout the relationship, I assume that that's when he was having these kids, and he probably had some kids before he met her, Sad I did not raise my kid like what the fuck. People around him had a effed up impact. Big ego, big money. All right, so keep on bringing them comments. Keep on liking this video. We need more likes here. Especially, do you guys enjoy me having these conversations with you guys and talking about stuff like this? If you do, I need your support. You guys know I need y'all support now.
He went on the run but was finally apprehended after a month and taken into custody. Tatorsha had plans with her mom to buy a 3-bedroom the week she was killed. It's sad to see a young woman groomed up by a weak man and end up killing her because she finally realized the truth. Tatorsha was giving a befitting burial. Here is a video of her home going.
All right, so I'm going to put down the music, but that's of her home growing. Those are her friends, I guess, celebrating her death. I see some people had an issue with her friends celebrating her death. But, you know, like I said, everybody believe differently. Y'all think everybody going to do shit like y'all. You know, everybody doesn't celebrate death and sadness and all black. Nowadays, a lot of people, they go to the funerals in regular clothes. They don't want to be black. They don't want to be sad. They want to bring it a celebration. Some have dance offs. You know, it's whatever the family see fit for their loved ones. My family is more traditional, of course, but other families are not. And I respect them as the same. They just believe differently. You know, I've always been able to accept other people's differences and agree to disagree. You know, I think that's a blessing. That's a power that I have that often people don't have. All right, so they're still doing the music. So what else do you guys have to say about this? This is the funeral of her. That's her in the casket. Okay. All right, so there it is. But a lot of people had an issue with how people celebrated her death. But these are her friends. You're not her friend. You know, this is, I guess, her people. This is how they like to do things. You know, so that's how they feel. So they still in the church. You know, they got blue jeans in the church. It looked like a Catholic church. I know a Catholic church when I see one. That look like a Catholic church. But now Catholic churches don't do the bodies, right? Because I don't know if Catholic church, I'm not sure of everything with the Catholics and the Christians. But they just still have a music, and they posted this on the internet. The family, they posted the whole funeral out here on the internet. Somebody said the weddings and the funeral, that's when the freaks come out. I feel so bad for her son. Her life would be different if she never met that guy. One person can truly change your life depending on your journey. Yeah, it could be different, you know, but who's to say? What if she met another guy that was just like that? Because this guy is not like one in a million of guys. How many guys are just like him? It's a whole bunch of guys that's just like him, you know? So you just got to be careful and prayed up in these streets. And it's a whole bunch of girls that's like her too. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying he groomed her. What did he groom her to be? He groomed her to be a provider. I mean, that's the only thing that he did. But in the comment section, I want to have this conversation with you guys. What did he groom her to be? Because she wasn't doing no Cassie shit. I mean, all she was doing was taking care of him. That's all she was doing. I never heard he was putting paws on her. He beat her. But they said, you know, when she wanted to leave and she said it's over, that's when he took it out on her. But what else do you talk about groom? And oftentimes when you hear, especially religious girls, when they talk about getting a man, they talk about they want their husband and their boyfriend to be like a father figure. They want a man to shape them into the woman that man want them to be, you know, which is considered grooming. You know, you're shaping, you're molding someone. I hear oftentimes some girls be like, well, you know, I want to be what my man want me to be, you know, however he sees fit, you know, they want to shape for him. And you hear a lot of men, that's what they want. They don't want a woman that's stubborn, that's hard-headed, that already got her ways. They want to be able to say, hey, I want you to align with my ways, you know? So I think that's a conversation for you all to have, you know, this grooming versus what it is. All right, so we got some talks. Let's hear it.
I was just sitting there. My name is Erica. I'm Bobo's cousin. It's so hard to keep hearing people say that we celebrate our life. That didn't sit well with me. And I kept asking myself, what are you going to do differently after today to celebrate Bobo's life? We should never have to go through this. And I'm sorry that we have to go through this. This is the most traumatic thing we've experienced in so long since Grandma passed. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And forever Bobo at the end of the day.
Man, F what them people think. You know, she said she mad that y'all talking about you celebrating her life. If people don't get it, they don't get it. People always gonna talk. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to adjust that wig. That's another reason why I didn't like this wig. It don't got no combs in it. I can't stick it up in here. I'm doing all this talking. I said, look at the wig. I had to adjust that damn wig. My goodness, it was sliding back. It was sliding back. Okay, but yeah. My goodness. Tam says she don't want no man that's like her father. Or a father figure. But a lot of women, they do want a father figure. They want a man that they can look up to. They want a man that's authoritative. They don't want the man like on the same level as them. Some women don't respect a man that's on the same level, you know? So let's continue on. Look good, mama. Thank you. Y'all crazy.
Say it again, baby. Tell you about what
we love you too, like Ray.
I love my grandma and my teacher.
I love you too, like Ray.
What about Tyshawn? You love your uncle too? Okay, yeah.
She's my favorite cousin in the whole world.
Grammar school, preschool, 8th grade. That was my friend. That girl was like my sister. Shaking and I'm crying right now. I went through a situation, and that girl opened up the doors to me and my baby. They let me live. That was my friend. That was more than somebody I went to school with. That girl was like my sister. So then, I love y'all. We got this. It's gonna be okay. That was my friend.
If everybody knows Atlanta kids and Sabrina kids, it's gonna be the messiest kids in the family. We gonna talk about everybody. If we trapped in jail for 2 weeks, we ain't talking about nobody. Nobody. Everybody came out for goal. I like how everybody come out and came together and how everybody helped us. It's a hard time, but we gonna get through it, and she's watching us all of us.
I'm Bobo real twin. I'm a real twin. Just know I love all y'all like sisters. And I love Bobo. This is my friend. Why you being so bad, Tia? Oh, Tia, come over here.
Good morning, y'all. My name Daniel, aka Boom, Maintenance Man, whatever. Y'all, whatever. I love you. Bobo, I love you. All the queens in the building, I love all y'all.
Hello everyone, I'm Jayla, and Tanisha was my best friend. And I remember I came to Tanisha's house, Bobo was there. She like, you must be their best friend. I'm like, yeah, it's me. She was like, Jayla, why is you here? I said, Bobo, you love me. And that's the day I knew she loved me, and I was just stuck up with it.
It's not an everyday occurrence, but it happens every day. For it to happen enough, we never thought it would happen. My niece left me. I never thought we'd be the ones that left. Remember, domestic violence is real, y'all. If you see any signs, report it. Tell somebody. I might not know everybody in this building, but I love everybody in this building. I promise I'm a changed man. I'm a humble man.
We care about the families, we care about the community, so we just want to be here to show our condolences. Thank you.
All right, I think I heard enough. So as you can see, people just coming up and just talking, you know, her friends and family and stuff like that. So I want to hear more. What's gonna happen to the man, the baby daddy?
We do hope Kevin Scott gets the maximum punishment possible. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Tatorsha Williams. What do you guys think about massive?
Woo. Okay, so they did not marry. That's Kevin Scott and Miss Williams. So the story is she met him when she was 17 years old. All right. And she has been providing for him, paying all the bills, and he's been loving it. And they said he already had 6 kids before she met him, but she was okay with that. So 10 years in, he ain't married her. And I believe he was probably cheating on her too. I'm not sure if he was cheating on her or not, but I'm sure he probably was. But anyway, she said, enough of this, Kevin. Enough of this. I don't want to be in this relationship no more. And he got mad. He saw it as a way of she saying F him. So he got a pow, and she ended up taking out, he ended up taking her out of here. And her 4-year-old, discovered her lifeless on the floor. So that's what happened in this situation. So do you think that he was beating on her this whole relationship and it's just been no reports because she didn't report on it? What are your thoughts? Press 1 if you feel like he was probably beating on her this whole relationship, but she just never reported it to authorities. Press 9 if you feel like no. If you don't see no reports, don't stop making up shit. That's what y'all good at. I mean, I don't know. It was no reports leading up to this. All we know is when she wanted to leave and she said she's leaving after 10 years of being with him, then that is when he decided to take her out. All right. So this type of stuff, it happens all over the world. I don't think it's a bigger urge to push to teach men like don't kill women and don't see women as property, because it's a social structure to push to see women as property. I don't know how often I'm talking to a guy and they want to know, can you cook? Yeah, I can cook, but I'm not cooking for you. They want to be with me so I can benefit them. Okay. I'm trying to benefit from you. Okay. I asked them, so how long have you been owning your house? I don't got no house. Oh, you don't? Well, when are you planning on owning the house? Do you have dreams of having a house? Especially with y'all want these damn kids. Hey, what you want to live? Never mind, I ain't gonna go there. But y'all got to start asking the right questions too. But everybody don't want the same thing. Clearly, she just wanted him. She didn't care about him not having a job. She didn't care about him not having all those kids. She didn't care about him. I don't know, what she saw in him, but she saw something to him. She saw something in him, and it's sad that she couldn't just walk away. You know what it remind me of? Do you guys know, like, in the Middle East, if this wig don't have y'all know, like in the Middle East, right? And I'll be watching a lot of Middle East. I like to watch a lot of foreign movies and stuff to understand and just see different cultures and differences. They have a thing called honor and killing. Have you guys heard about that? Person, one of you heard about honor and killing, where these men will kill their sister if their kid's sister is out here fornicating. If you are 19, 20 years old and you develop a reputation of being a whore, your family will kill you. Your brother will kill you. Your father will kill you. And it's an honor and killing because you put a stain on the family's, name. In those type of situations, you can't leave a husband. If a wife left a husband, they will kill her because you're dishonoring the family when you're trying to get a divorce and when you leave. So these men here that do that stuff, I just think about the Middle Eastern men, and that is their norms. and that is their practices and that is their ways. And I know oftentimes in the Middle East, that's like old traditional stuff. And I know in America, the mindset here in America is like a new mindset. It's not old traditional mindset. So I just look at the past and where most people were at when I go to the Middle East. It's like going back in the past to me. The Middle Eastern people and their cultures and how they do with the classes and stuff like that. So yeah, I just be we would just have to see. I'd rather be single versus being dead. I know that's right, Moon. I know that's right. But in those societies, I do believe they shame women that are single. Like if you're single, they can still kill you. I'm assuming. Like if you got family in the Middle East, and then you got a daughter and she don't want to marry, they probably like, you're a shame on the family. You're 30 years old. Nobody has married you. You making our family name bad, and they probably take your ass out of here. Now the men, they don't do that too, because the rules are different from men and women. Especially back in the day in the Middle East. So in America, they try to do equality as much as possible. But, it's just interesting. Can I call in? Have you been with my family over a decade? I love you, hon. Okay, you want to call in? Do you want to call in about this, or do you want to call in about something personal? Like you want to have a conversation about like how we used to kick it. You know what I'm saying? If it's personal, then we can do another live for that. I'm not sure if it's my trans child and I watch you forever. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'll do another live today about some trans, and I can open the lines up for that. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here. I love you guys. Hopefully, you guys make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Message Sweet Spot. And I might change this wig too, girl. Okay. I might change the whole outfit. All right. I love y'all. Bye.